Alrighty, hello everybody. My name is James Swan, and welcome to BPM Bullets Per Minute. Today I'm going to be running Health Pool Hell on Easy Mode. It's the newest category in BPM Bullets Per Minute, and I am proud to say that I am the one who actually came up with it. It is a multi-character category featuring 3 characters, one of whom is one of the original lineup of 5 characters, and 2 of whom are part of the new lineup of 5 characters. That's right, there are 5 new characters in this game since it last appeared at a major event. I'll explain more about that down the line, but first let me introduce our 3 characters that we will be running and tell you a little bit about them. The first character in our lineup, you can play him in any order, but the way I like to do it is starting out with our boy Freyr. Look at him, he is a handsome lad, he's got those fabulous wings, and he has just armor as his health pool. As the name implies, Health Pool Hell, all of our characters will have unique health pools and unique attributes about them. Freyr has just armor as his health pool. His ultimate ability, right there, it will give him plus 25 to his armor, which on easy mode, which we're playing on, is equivalent to most enemies dealing 1 hit of damage to you. He starts out with a revolver, as you can see right there. It's a little slow, you've got to reload single rounds at a time, so we try to swap out from that as fast as we can. And he has a secondary ability that is a shield, what you can see right there. It allows him to block any and all incoming damage for a short amount of time. It's pretty dang powerful, and we love it. So, the second character in our lineup, down here, part of the new characters that were added to this game in one of the later updates to the game since this game last appeared at a major event. We have Herfjoder. They are amazing. As you can see, they have a wonderful bolt-action rifle that they start out with. It's relatively powerful, it's pretty consistent, it's a little bit slow, but it's consistent enough to be able to get you through the entire game relatively reliably. Their ultimate ability is to change all items in a room into coins, which is pretty important because their health pool is just coins. That is the currency of this game, so pretty important to be able to supply yourself with coins whenever you need to. And their secondary ability is a super powerful snipe. It does a lot of damage to enemies, it can 2-shot certain bosses, and it can launch you and enemies in the air if you aim towards their feet. That'll come into play during Herfjoder's run at 1 and maybe 2 instances. Definitely going to use that for some mobility as well. I'll hopefully be able to show that off pretty well. And then the last character in our lineup is Skuld. She is fabulous, she is a queen. She starts out with, surprisingly not shown in the art here, a Garand type weapon, 3 rounds, very satisfying reload, got the pings every time. Her main ultimate ability is to spawn a chest after a certain number of rooms or enemies have been defeated or cleared, and her secondary ability is the Mark for Death, the Mortal Curse, and she will be able to basically tick enemies' health down over time, and that ability stacks, so you can use it on bosses, you can use it on general enemies, and it refreshes pretty quickly, so it's very useful. We try to use it as often as we can during the run when it's convenient for us to. Reliable weapon and pretty good items and abilities to be able to just give us some pretty good RNG manipulation for Skuld throughout the run, just giving us more coins and more items with that ultimate and ticking down enemies' health through just DPS with that secondary ability. Skuld is my personal favorite character to run. I should probably tell you what her health pool is. Her health is just constantly ticking down over time. That is her unique health pool. So, just one of those fun little things there. I've talked your ear off enough, though. I might jump in at different points throughout the run, but mostly I'm going to be playing in serious mode, focusing on the run, trying to go as fast as possible. I'm not the best at commentating while running, I will admit that wholeheartedly, but I will try and jump in where I can to give y'all some more information as we play. For now, though, let's go with Freyr in 3, 2, 1, go. I've set my personal estimate for this for a maximum of 50 minutes. That shouldn't be too bad RTA, That's a maximum, by the way. I'm hoping for significantly less than that. We're getting into Asgard 1 here. There are going to be 2 Asgard floors, 2 Vanaheim floors, 2 Svartalfheim floors, and 2 Helheim floors, the namesake of this category, Helheim there. We have, in fact, found the boss room already for this first floor. Also, let me just pop up in here. Hi, Hugin. He is a good bird. He is the shopkeep for the main shops. Sadly, nothing we really want here. Can't get max health increases on Freyr just because of the rule set of this category. No max health increases on Freyr, and no armor increases on Skuld. That's just the rules. Sadly, you also cannot pet Hugin. This is the closest we get to petting Hugin. I'm gonna just... yeah, that feels like as close as we're gonna get to petting Hugin. But he's a good bird. We love Hugin. Moving on, let's keep going. Getting a couple of keys there is really nice. Means I can jump up here into the chest room and use one of these keys to get an item or stat up. That's not a great thing. You can see it caused a lot of flashing lights and a lot of noise. But that other key we're saving just in case we find a door down to the crypts. The crypts are really nice. They guarantee us a armory spawn, a well room spawn if we don't have the well room spawn in Asgard 1. The well room guarantees us an option of 1 of 4 powerful items that will appear in the well room. So you can imagine we want to get the well room. And the statue room. The statue room is a place where we can put up to 50 coins into the statue to be able to increase all of our stats that you see there. Damage, precision, ability, speed, range, and luck. And possibly also increase our maximum magazine capacity with our weapons. So I'm just going to pull out a ton of coins there, hopefully be able to use those down in the crypts later. Otherwise, we'll be set for coin routing for the rest of the run. And yes, we did in fact get a crypts, which is really nice. You can see the crypts icon by that little stairs icon on our map in that top left corner, right up there. Realize that doesn't really help y'all if you're all trying to see that, my apologies. But I'll pull it up on the center here so you can kind of see it. And I'll make my way down in here and make our way down into the crypts. The crypts are a bit of a risk-reward. You gotta hope that you can deal with the stronger enemies and make your way through. We got very lucky, found the armory and the statue room right off the bat. I think I'm going to go with the SMG over the bolt action. The bolt action you'll see a lot of later with Perf. The SMG isn't necessarily as much damage, but it's faster rate of fire and more just consistency in my hands is just a bit nicer, so we're gonna go with that. That's the boss room. We could go straight for it, but we're going to try and find that well room first, if we can. Had we gotten a key out of that chest, I would have taken a quick detour into that chest room there. Tried to get an extra item, but luck just not being on my side right there for a second. That's okay. We still love you, game. Got a few options here. We've got the trampling boots, we've got the righteous sun, we've got the power shot glove, and we've got the circlet or the serpentine, which we can't actually use. That damns health. That doesn't help us right now. Gonna grab the righteous sun. This is a flashing lights warning. Again, flashing lights warning for anyone watching that may have photosensitivity issues. I will say it one more time. Flashing lights warning, beginning now. Righteous Sun is very powerful, but it is also very bright and flashy. So, yeah, be ready for that throughout the rest of this run. It's going to help us go fast, but so it's also going to hurt our eyes a little bit, so I'm sorry. Gonna jump into this reroll room right quick, hoping for a particular item. If we see it, great. If we don't, no big deal. We'll grab the Hat of Madness instead and be happy with that. After we hit an enemy, we'll just be able to see a little explosion go off if they're not already dead. Though, we'll also pop up in here, see if we see it, and nope, we don't see the item that we're looking for. I will take that ranged statue. That's how you usually get stats in a casual run if you're not using the bank and the crits. You just find statues as you're going throughout your journey down into Helheim. And they will each increase your stats by 1 as you go. This is Vet, the floor boss for Vanaheim 1. Thanks to our build, we can just annihilate him and move on with our days. I'm really trying to go fast through this Freya run so that y'all don't have to see the Richest Sun anymore, so that I can save all of our collective eyes and I don't get a headache. Only one character into this run. Doing a little trick here that I do whenever I see a triple split. I will always check all 3 splits for the boss room just in case we get a single room exit. Sadly, no single room, so I'm just going off of gut instinct now and also map knowledge from what has been revealed to me thus far. I feel like it's going to be this way. How dare you? Ooh, I'm going to do this for all of our eyes. It will mean we go a little slower, but our eyes are going to be a bit, easier to survive with. We now have the infinite ammo shield, another common pickup that you see. Still some flashing lights in this game. You're never going to be able to get away from them completely. This game is just full of flashing lights, so be warned. If you have photosensitivity, the photosensitivity warning in this game is there for a reason. It was just much more serious there for a little while we had to lift the sun. It should be a little bit better now that we have dropped it for the infinite ammo shield, so still, bear with us. Sadly, it's just how it is with this game. The photosensitivity warning at the start of this game is there for a reason. Still checking shops for one particular item, sadly not finding it. I will take the golden bracelet, just because that allows us to penetrate certain shields. And it's not stated there on the item description, but it does allow us to do it, which is really cool. Certain items just have secret hidden abilities, and I love that about this game. The game doesn't tell you everything, it lets you find out that some of your favorite items have secret superpowers, and that's cool to me. Just like people, some things have secret superpowers. You don't know what they are, but you'll eventually find out one day. Everyone is special in their own way. everyone and everything is special. These are Clockwork Souls, by the way, those little robots that I just destroyed there. They stink. They have those little invulnerability phases. Anyone in the speedrun community can tell you, they are a pain in the tuchus. We do not like them. Those little invulnerability phases can ruin runs. So many runs have died to Clockwork Souls. Between Clockwork Souls and Flies, oh man, I cannot tell you how many runs both of those creatures have killed. You would think it would be tough bosses. We joke about Golvig being the hardest boss in the game, but no, it's not. It's not Golvig, it's not the Vanaheim 2 boss. It is Flies, and it is Clockwork Souls. Occasionally you can throw a Guardian in there too, but if you get penetration, like with the Golden Bracelet for example, you're fine most of the time. See? Just takes so long. Though the final boss does change, well, the actual final boss of the game is unchanging, it will always be Nidhogg, but the joking final boss does change a little bit when we play our next character, for Fyodor. I'll explain that a little more when we get there. Oh god, my ears feel so much better. These are the Spurs of Justice. They make our crits deal additional damage over time, and they also make my ears not hurt from that never-ending explosion noise. Cheese and crackers. I feel so much better now that I don't have to deal with that. You know, sometimes they do say that something is better than nothing, but I'm not so sure in this instance. Got lucky there. That was a thankfully good read, because had I not been correct on that read, I would have to go all the way back to the center platform, had to do that platforming again, and I probably would have cried just a little bit. Y'all might not have cried, but I might have. Though that is also just how BPM speedrunning goes sometimes. We've seen it in even some of the casual races myself and some other members of the community have done with each other. One guy has had all the RNG items and stats in the world, and you can see that. He's got all that stuff in his favor, but gets a bad map. Maps are randomly generated, and sometimes the map will just take you all over the place before giving you the boss room. And even if the other guy doesn't have necessarily the greatest stuff in the world, he might have a chance to catch up there, just because, hey, guess what? RNG was in his favor with maps. The maps are the true be-all and end-all here. You can have all the skill, you can have all the items, you can have all the guns, you can have all the RNG items and stats and stuff you want, you can execute perfectly, but if the maps are not in your favor, well, if the maps aren't in your favor, you're looking at possibly a 12-14 minute time at a minimum. Why? Because that's just how this game is. Because you're going to have to backtrack, you're going to have to go left, right, up, and down, all around, go around your elbow to get to your thumb, and that's how it is. And that's why we love this game. But we did get lucky, Helheim was nice to us. This floor can be the biggest floor in the game. It spawns with a minimum of 10 rooms every single time, so that's a lot of rooms. I'm going to try and do a quick kill here, which involves leading him off the platform here when he does a specific charge attack. You're not doing it yet. Come on, buddy. Just like that. And as you hear, there's no crescendo happening. I don't have to shoot him additional times to get that door to spawn. The door just spawns and I can walk right on through it. Down here to Helheim 2. I'm going to make a quick detour over here, grab these Giant Slayer boots, which will let me do just some more damage to the final boss, Needhog, the giant dragon at the end of the game. Yes, there is a dragon at the end of this game, why do you ask? But yes, we are now in the final boss rush here. Ooh, got lucky crits on the Clockwork Souls this time. That doesn't always happen, but it is possible to get crits on those Clockwork Souls. We're not sure how to get them consistently. No one actually is sure how to get them consistently. They just seem to be purely random, but we love it when it does happen. You can see our build with our stats, those Giant Slayer's boots and everything coming in to make a very fast kill on Needhog there, making for a pretty average run of Freyr there, a 14-22-96, so not too shabby, but nothing special there to start this off. Let's keep on going. Hope our luck gets a bit better as we go into Herfjotr. Herfjotr's health pool is only coins. When you take a hit, you divide by 2, rounding down, so it's pretty tough. Especially because that damage is the same on any difficulty level. Practice, easy, hard, or hellish. Herfjotr is the same. So, hopefully I'll be able to show off something special here. I am a former world record holder for Herfjotr on hellish, so let's see what I can do. Got an early key, which is very nice. Playbook does not change from Freyr. Still looking for that crits, still looking for all the same things. Nothing we can use there. You can't really use armor or health upgrades on Herfjotr. That's not a rule. I didn't make that rule. That's because they don't work. You have coins, they do not help you if you try to upgrade your armor or health. Another coin, or key I should say, I'm gonna pop over here, open this chest since it's right here. Shield Converter doesn't help, turns shields into health. There's a snipe boost for you there though, just launching us all the way across that room, saving us a little bit of time, and of course I missed that. Easiest snipe in the world. Didn't miss that one though. We found the boss room. I don't want to go for the boss room yet. I want to hunt for a crit. Oh, that's interesting. As I said, there is a small but non-zero chance that the well room can spawn on the first floor, and somehow I'm actually getting to show that off for you. I was not expecting to be able to show that off, but here we are. So let's see what we got this time. Well, I kind of feel like I have to take double damage, even though I'd really like to take the auto aim. That's the Midgard bracelet. That is the item you are allowed to take on Freyr to increase your max health. That increases your stats by 1 each on every single floor and gives you a single time use of a plus 25 to your maximum health. Increase healing effects. That doesn't help us. Well, guess we're taking double damage. I should have taken Midgard bracelet now that I know there's no crits. But you live and you learn. And we're gonna have to go for the boss with just double damage and go for this run as best we can. Ooh, giant vengeful Draugr. You don't love to see that. Giant means that it basically is big and has a greatly increased health pool. Vengeful means that whenever we do damage to him, he shoots a bullet back at us. Thankfully, we're not shooting too fast, so his bullets aren't shooting back too fast. And Asgard 2, let's see if we can pick up the pace. Space is not going to help us go fast though, and neither is not having crits, which means we don't have stats, which stinks. Plus, anything we've seen so far means it's out of the loot pool, which is not going to help us either. However, we can do this to get up to Hugin's shop. What do we have in here? That will help a little bit. Speed and range up. Not gonna help us too much, but it will help, and then we'll turn the rest into coins using that ultimate ability. Oh man, sometimes it feels like using the Scout or the AWP in a game like Counter-Strike when we're doing this. We've got the Grand there. I don't really want to do that because you're going to see the Grand a lot later. If I could, I probably would, but we also cannot afford it currently. We're going to pop up in here, see what we get out of this chest. Rhythmic Chaos Boots. It'll slow us down a bit in later floors because of invulnerability phases of enemies, but we'll probably take them for now just because they will be fast in enough situations where they will help us. And now that I can, I actually am going to go back and grab the Garand because it just will be more consistent, it will be faster, you're not having to rack the action between each beat, you're not having to take multiple beats to reload, and it's got just as good range and pretty good damage too, especially with that double damage shield there. If we get more keys, you know what, I'll drop one in there. If we get more keys, we'll probably come back. Well, there we are, there's another key. The game heard me say if we get more keys and gave me more keys, so I guess we're getting that and we have to backtrack anyway. Well, that increases our luck stat by 4. It doesn't help us much, but it does help us a bit. Thanks, game. I appreciate that. Thanks to the space modifier, we can just jump right up there without any boosting or anything like that. Another damage increase kit, which is very nice. Love to see that. Thanks, game. 5 minutes into Vanaheim 1. That's not very fast, so I'm gonna go quiet and I'm gonna focus up until we get to the boss of Vanaheim 2, most likely. With double damage. For some people it's a matter of feel, but in this term it's definitely doing more damage with double damage here. Just a frame drop there, that's normal. Wish it wasn't, but this is a procedurally loaded game, it happens a lot. That's life. We're in the right luck stat for the item here, so I'm going to check for it. That stinks because we don't get any coins there, and we just spent a ton of coins there, and we gotta backtrack all the way, so we're losing a lot of time. Had we gotten the item I was looking for, I would break it down. Actually, we're backtracking. I'll break it down. I was looking for an item called the Dwarven Bracelet. It will reveal the entire map to us if we find it, and that does it for all subsequent floors as well. If we find it and keep it with us, it's a very useful item, as anyone who plays any game with a procedurally generated map can tell you. If you can see the entire map after it's been randomly generated, it helps you go very fast. So, yeah, we're always looking for that. It's the holy grail of BPM speedruns. Sadly, didn't get it. It has a higher chance to spawn from that and from the demon statues than it does to spawn in shops and other chests. The demon statues, by the way, are the statues that take keys as their tribute instead of coins. Those are the angel statues that take coins. Now that we're at Golvig, I'm going to try and show off the Golvig quick kill. And I got it. No, I didn't. I kind of got it? That was weird. I kinda got it, kinda didn't, and now I'm on 1 health point because she threw random stuff at me and then clipped out of bounds and died. So that was weird. Will you believe me if I say that that's never happened before like that? Yeah. That's never happened before like that. So, congratulations, you get one of those. We try to avoid lava at all costs. As they say, fire bad. Into start off I'm 2, hopefully I can pick up the pace just a bit, but we're doing okay. I need to be using the snipe boost more. I want to show that off when I get a chance. I ought to be able to do it here. There we go. Nice little snipe boost there for the people. Why? Because it just looks cool, and it's fast. It's fast to get across a room by just launching yourself in the air with something that does a heck ton of damage. Gotta be careful not to run into that, because until it goes away, its hitbox is still active, and it can damage you, and it can ruin your day. I have lost Odor and Sangrider runs to that before. So, yeah, that stinks. But that's how it is sometimes. That's BPM. Wonky terrain in Helheim, catching you up on a corner and almost getting you domed by some wizards that are jumping around in the air. Or skeleton mages, sorry, let me call them by their proper names. We respect people here. Thank you very much. And yes, you can launch Cert too, but it doesn't really work as well there because Cert just moves a lot. But yes, that's BPM for you. And I wouldn't have this game any other way. Love this game. The only other way I would have this game is if you could pet the dang birds. Devs, if you end up watching this, somehow, some way, I want to be able to pet Hugin and Munin. Munin is the bird that runs the armory. He's dressed up in a full suit of armor. He's adorable, and he's a good boy. So is Hugin. They are both good boys. And I want to be able to pet him, dagnabbit. I want one more update to this game so that I can pet the dang birds. I don't want anything fixed. The game's perfectly fine. Ooh, I am on focus. And we're good. Alrighty, that is time on her Yoda. But yes, I'll say it once, I'll say it again, I want to pet the darn birds. 1311.1, that's okay. That's a pretty average speed run there for her Yoda. Though I will say my hellish personal best and the new hellish world record that sadly Shadow Cell took from me, I need to go back for that record and take it back, are both faster than that. So we'll see, but we're going to jump into Skuld, my best character, my favorite character, and we're going to go for it. Our health is constantly ticking down over time, the ideal speedrun character, always forcing you to go fast, always forcing you to think on your feet. It's so much fun. She is so wonderful. So let's go. I have 2 more coins I can put in there before I lose the ability to put any more coins in there, so I will wait there. I'm not going to take that item because there's still a chance for the item I'm looking for to spawn. Didn't get it. Circlet of Serpentine does help us though, because it increased the amount of health that we restore by dealing damage, so we'll take it for now. Nothing you can take there. As I said earlier, I'm pretty sure no armor allowed on Skuld for this category. Hey, lucky us, we did get a trips for Skuld, so hopefully we'll be able to go fast. Let's see if we get a key here. We got a lucky key, so we don't have to backtrack and find the mini-boss, and we also don't have to fight the boss. We don't have to choose between those 2 options to find a key, we just got a key straight out. We are down about 10 coins from where we'd like to be going into here. We also don't have a bank, but maybe we'll get a bank here. For everyone's sake, I'm gonna take the auto-aim lens. I'm not gonna grab Rich to Sun again. We already know what Rich to Sun does. Auto-aim lens makes our aim reticle bigger, and it will lock onto enemies for us, making me look a lot better than I actually am. Though, as you can see, it is still not perfect, and we can still miss. Honestly, after seeing that attack from the boss there, I really wish they'd done more floor-based attacks where you had to move between safe spots on the floor, but keeping in mind that that was a boss added after the full game was released, he was a new boss added with later updates to the game, along with the entire floor of Asgard crypts and most, if not all, the enemies in that floor. I mean, you can't complain with what you got. It is awesome. It is amazing. It completely changed the speedrun scene. So, again, shout out to the devs, particularly Josh Sullivan, friend of the community, also the composers for the game, especially, well, the only two composers, Sam Houghton and Joe Collinson, both friends of the speedrun community, hanging out in our Discord, saying hi every now and again. We even have an emote of Sam's face, so that would be pretty dang fun. They are pretty darn fun, we love them, they're great, and thank you to all of them, not just the three mentioned, but everyone out there who put all their effort into making this awesome game that us speedrunners have just reduced to minutes at a time from their hard work. 6 minutes into Svartalfheim 1, but we do not like seeing Infested. Infested is one of those floor modifiers. I don't believe I've covered floor and boss modifiers yet, but I'll go ahead and talk about them now as I go through here. Every floor and boss can have one or more modifiers. Only one modifier for floors, but certain modifiers can only apply at higher levels, such as Inverted can only appear at hellish difficulty. Thank God. Thank whatever you believe in, but Inverted is exactly what it sounds like. It flips everything upside down and is basically unplayable. It's a guaranteed reset for any of us that play the game. Whenever we see it, we just basically take a second, consider what we're doing, and most 99.999% of the time, we just reset the run. Because we ain't playing that. I have attempted it once, it gave me a headache, and I almost cried. It was difficult and not in a fun way. But here we have Another floor modifier, barren, meaning no chests are going to spawn. You can still get shops if you have certain items. Enemies will still be able to drop things, but they normally will not on a barren floor. Infested just meant more enemies were going to be spawning in each room, but thankfully we got a one-room exit, which is always nice to see. And there was even a bank there, but we didn't need it because, guess what? We're going fast and we got good stuff. So, we gonna just go fast. We speedrunners, man. That's how we roll. We're gonna pop up in here for just a second, though, see if there is a particular item. It is not there, so we just gonna run out. And I feel like it's gonna be to the left here. It was not to the left, and I am sad. Door, please, thank you. There we go. Doors are hard, man. How do they work? Freaking doors, man. How do they work? Don't want to grab that. Almost grabbed that out of sheer instinct and would have invalidated this entire run, and I would have cried. I would have had genuine tears happening here. That would have been sad for me, embarrassing, and just all around just unhappy moment. Real sad boy hours. Why? Because as I said earlier, and as I will say again, you cannot pick up armor on Skull. It is just the way it is. That is just the rules of how it goes with this particular category. Can you pick it up on any other category? Yep. Well, as long as it's not helpful hell on practice, hard, or hellish, but, you know, common sense there, hopefully. But that also means that it is such muscle memory for us speedrunners to pick up armor if we see it, just for free, because that is just health that will not tick away on Skuld. You're gonna have that armor there, and you don't have to worry about it just disappearing unless you get hit. So, for a lot of us, it's second nature to pick up that armor if we see it, which means there's a few runs that have been invalidated already from picking up armor, and that stinks. But we did want, and by we I mean myself and the rest of the moderation team, did want to enforce the hell aspect of Health Pool Hell, spelled H-E-L, in love of Helheim. As we make our way through Helheim 1 for the last time, getting lucky, thankfully, very much, because we didn't have to go through too much of it. We got early cert right here, right now. I will try for the cert quick kill one more time. Getting it, I think. Yeah, got it. And we're gonna head right on out into Helheim 2, grab those Giant Slayer boots out of the room on the right hand side. You get these Giant Slayer boots permanently unlocked after depositing 50 plumes into this dish here over multiple runs. I don't think I'd explained that earlier, so I'll explain that right there. You can pick them up every single time, and they just help you deal a butt ton more damage to big enemies. It's even more powerful with shotgun type weapons because you're doing a lot of bullets at a time. It deals percentage per bullet, I believe. It's percentile damage. I'm not exactly sure what that translates into. We just know the more things you hit the boss with, the more damage it does. So you can kill Meathog in like 2 seconds with certain shotgun type weapons, and it's freaking overpowered. But for now, we are about to call time on this run in 3, 2, 1. There we go, that is time on this run. I have a timer next to me, an RTA of 44 minutes, 33 seconds, and 3 tenths of a second, my apologies. So, not too horrible, not too fast though either. And I also have a little other tool on the side here that tells me a good couple minutes of that were loads for me. As I said, It's a procedurally loaded game, so that is hardware dependent. Other members of my community have better setups than I do. I personally am running on a laptop, so you can imagine it takes a little longer for me to load into certain levels. Other players in our community, they have seen this game load very quickly, like less than a couple of seconds into each floor each time. For me, you saw it taking a good few seconds for each floor to load, and obviously that's time loss every time, over a minute for each run for those loads alone. Plus, there's also a split second of load time between each of those rooms, so that time adds up. That's why we use the in-game timer for all of our runs on the leaderboards. However, that means I'm very comfortable putting an estimate for this run at 50 minutes. That's a very safe estimate in my mind, whether that's for a race, whether that's for a solo run. Feels very safe, very comfortable in my mind, and I have so much fun running this. I have so much fun running this alone, with my friends, with my buddies in the community. It's a wonderful game here at BPM, and I'd love to share it with so many more people. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.